Have you ever found yourself obsessively searching for the perfect tutorial? You want to be a better leader, a better partner, or perhaps a wealthier person? So you buy the online course, you read the how-to books, and you follow the 10-step guides. We live in an era that believes everything is teachable. We believe that virtue, which we might call success, character, or excellence, is just a data packet that can be transferred from one brain to another. If I just pay the right consultant, they will install the success software into my mind. But let me ask you a question that might stop you in your tracks. If being a good and successful person is something that can be taught, why are the children of great people often so mediocre? Why are there so many teachers of virtue, yet so few virtuous people? And more importantly, if you don't already know what success looks like, how will you even recognize it when you find it? Today, we are diving into one of Plato's most pivotal dialogues, Meno. It begins with a sudden, aggressive question from a young aristocrat named Meno: can virtue be taught? But what follows is not a simple yes or no. It is a psychological thriller that dismantles everything we think we know about learning. This book challenges the very foundation of our education system and our self-improvement culture. It argues that we are not empty vessels waiting to be filled, but amnesiacs waiting to remember. If you have ever felt stuck, confused, or like an imposter in your own life, this video is going to flip your perspective on what it means to truly know something. The core message of Meno revolves around a terrifying logical trap known as Meno's paradox. Meno, frustrated by Socrates' constant questioning, throws up his hands and says, essentially, Socrates, this is impossible. How can you search for something when you don't know what it is? If you don't know it, you won't know where to look. And even if you bumped right into it, you wouldn't know that was the thing you were looking for. This is the debater's paradox. It suggests that learning is impossible. Either you know it so you don't need to learn, or you don't know it so you can't learn. It's a cynical view that many of us secretly hold. We think, I'm just not a math person, or I just don't have the gene for business. Socrates destroys this pessimism with a radical, almost mystical idea: the theory of recollection, or anamnesis. He argues that the soul is immortal and has seen all things before it was born. Therefore, learning is not the intake of new information. It is the recovery of lost knowledge. It is recollection. The core philosophy here is that you already have the potential for all wisdom inside you. You don't need a teacher to put sight into your eyes. You just need someone to turn your head toward the light. Education is not about stuffing facts into your brain. It is about drawing out the literal meaning of educere, the truths that are already dormant within your soul. This shifts the responsibility from the guru back to you. The answers aren't out there. They are in here, buried under layers of distraction and false beliefs. Let's explore this through 3 key insights that will transform how you approach your own growth. Insight number 1, the value of aporia, the torpedo fish. Early in the dialogue, Meno accuses Socrates of being like a torpedo fish, an electric ray that numbs anyone who touches it. Meno started the conversation arrogant and confident. He thought he knew exactly what virtue was. Now, after Socrates has dismantled his definitions, he feels numb. He is confused, paralyzed, and speechless. He thinks this is a bad thing, but Socrates argues that this numbness, this state of aporia perplexity, is the most valuable moment in learning. Before, Meno was ignorant but thought he was wise. That is a dangerous state because he would never seek the truth. Now he knows he doesn't know. The numbness is the birth pains of wisdom. Here is the insight for us. Confusion is not a sign of stupidity. It is the prerequisite for growth. In our modern lives, we panic when we feel confused or stuck. We think we are failing. Plato tells us, no, you are just waking up. You must clear away the false confidence before you can build real understanding. Embrace the numbness. It means the old illusions are dying. Insight number 2. The slave boy experiment potential is universal. To prove that learning is possible, Socrates calls over one of Meno's uneducated slave boys. The boy knows no geometry. Socrates draws a square in the sand and asks the boy how to double its area. The boy guesses wrong twice. He is confident, then he gets confused. Aporia. And finally, through simple questioning, the boy discovers the Pythagorean theorem on his own. Socrates never teaches him, he only asks. This is revolutionary. It proves that the capacity for complex truth exists in everyone. Regardless of status, education, or background, Meno, the rich aristocrat, is arrogant but stuck. The slave boy, humble and guided by questions, finds the truth. The insight is intelligence is not about status. It's about the willingness to be guided. You don't need a PhD to find the truth. You need the humility to answer the next question, and the faith that the answer is already within your logic, waiting to be found. Insight number 3, knowledge versus true belief, the statues of Daedalus. Towards the end, Socrates makes a crucial distinction. He asks, what is the difference between a man who knows the road to Larissa and a man who just guesses the right road correctly? Practically, the result is the same. They both get to the city. So why do we value knowledge more than true belief? Lucky guessing. Socrates uses the metaphor of the statues of Daedalus. These legendary statues were so lifelike that if you didn't tie them down, they would run away. True belief is like an untied statue. It might be right today, but it will run away tomorrow when things get tough. You might have a true belief that the stock market will go up, but if you don't know why, you will panic when it drops. Knowledge, however, is tied down. By an account of the reason itias logismos, you understand the why. The insight here is, to master your life, you must tether your beliefs. Don't just copy successful people true. Belief understand the principles that make them successful. Knowledge. Only then will your success stay put. So, how do we apply this ancient wisdom to our lives tomorrow? First, stop fearing imposter syndrome. When you feel like you don't know what you're doing, when you feel that numbness, recognize it as the Socratic torpedo fish. It's a good sign. It means you have cleared the space for real learning. Don't retreat to easy answers. Stay in the confusion a little longer. Second, tether your opinions. Audit your life. You have opinions on politics, on diet, on career. But which of them are just statues running away? Which of them are tied down by reason? Pick one area of your life where you are just guessing and commit to learning the deep why behind it. Finally, adopt the Socratic method for yourself. Stop trying to download wisdom from gurus. Instead, become your own Socrates. When you face a problem, don't ask, what is the answer? Ask, what do I already know? Is not true? Chip away at the falsehoods. Trust that your soul has the answer, and your job is to excavate it, not import it. Meno ends with a bit of a mystery. Socrates concludes that virtue can't be taught like math, but it also doesn't come naturally. It appears to be a divine dispensation, a gift. But perhaps the real gift is the journey itself, the realization that we are all walking around with a library of truth inside us, if only we are brave enough to wake up and read it.